Milwaukee. We are getting ready for Game 3 between the Brewers and the Marlins. Fans filing into Miller Park here. We're getting ready for baseball. What a great night for a game. And it's going to be a great night for this Brewers offense, hopefully, again. They're coming off of 2 great performances, 20 runs over their last 2 games on 23 hits, 5 home runs in there as well, and 7 doubles. A lot of that coming from the top of the order. Nice for Craig Counsell to put Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich back in the top 2 spots of his lineup. Good evening, everyone. Sophia Minnaert here at Miller Park. And last night, it was the 4th straight victory for the Brewers, an 8-0 win. And the top 5 hitters in that lineup were on base 16 times, something that Craig Counsell hopes that they can sustain here. And it starts with the 2 at the top of the order who are setting the tone for this offense. And you see when Lorenzo Cain and Christian Yelich are in the lineup, good things happen for this Brewers offense. They are 5-1 with them in the lineup, 6.5 runs per game. The hits up as well, and the average up as well for Cain and Yelich. So the Brewers are feeding off of that success at the top of the order. Hitting coach Darnell Coles spoke about the impact that they have on this offense.
Adding these 2 players, 1 lefty, 1 righty, I think you've added 2 5-tool players that can do everything. But what it does is it adds a consistency of contact through our lineup. So now lefty, righty, so you're not worried about the different pitchers that are coming out of different bullpens, so they can come in and pitch to 1 or 2 players. So now it just adds to our lineup and the flexibility of it.
Well, the additions to this Brewers lineup have been impactful, and it has been productive. And as we go up to our game announcers, Matt LePay and Bill Schroeder, guys, maybe the ones who are most grateful to have Cain and Yelich back at the top of the lineup are the guys hitting behind them in Ryan Braun and Travis Shaw, and what that has meant for their production.
No doubt about it, Sophia. In fact, Braun, he said as much to you in his career. Those around him, in front of him, behind him, have added a lot to his numbers in his career. And Rock, you saw those numbers with the on-base percentage for Cain and Yelich. That does set it up for the heart of the order, and that heart of the order is showing signs of heating up right now.
Yeah, Ryan Braun, Travis Shaw, they're going to have a blast this summer if those 2 guys continue to get on base. I mean, like they did last night, 7 times on base. Braun, Shaw able to come up, both of them with home runs. Now, you know, what it does is when you have Shaw and Braun behind those 2 guys, I mean, there's always going to be guys on base, and pitchers aren't going to be able to pitch around them. At some point, you got to pitch to them, and when Shaw gets that pitch down in the zone, see you later. A couple of home runs in the last couple of days, and he's starting to heat up. No coincidence that the Brewers started to swing the bats much better and score runs when Yelich got back and Braun started to get healthy.
Yep, 12 runs on Thursday, 8 more on Friday. And oh, by the way, the pitching has been really good as well. Both the starters and the bullpen. Brent Suter is going to try to continue that trend tonight as the Brewers try to make it 5 in a row. Ball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Brent Suter gets the starting call for the Brew Crew tonight, looking for his second win of the season and looking to continue what has been a very, very impressive trend from this Brewers pitching staff, both starting pitching and out of the bullpen. Lights out good here as a part of this 4-game winning streak. Jose Ureña gets the call for the Marlins tonight. He pitched against the Brew Crew here in mid-September of last year. A no decision in that series here at Miller Park in the middle of September. Cain and Yelich, the former Marlin. Busy night on the bases for him last night. Travis Shaw went deep in the game last night. Brewers going for 5 in a row. Brewers and Marlins coming up. Looking to continue their winning ways. They have won 4 in a row. Looking for number 5 tonight. We'll have it all buttoned up here at Miller Park. Getting a little bit warmer, but it's going to dip down into the low 40s as we move along here tonight. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Brew Crew and the Miami Marlins. A rugged start for Don Mattingly's team. 5-14 this season so far. Year number 3 for Donnie Baseball as the manager of the Marlins. Let's check out the Miami batting order presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Miguel Rojas will lead things off. Derek Dietrich hitting second tonight. Then Starlin Castro is third. Brian Anderson in the cleanup spot. Justin Bohr, Cameron Maben, Lewis Brinson. Brian Holliday will catch and hit 8th. Jose Ureña batting 9th, and that's the order against the lefty Brent Suter.
Yep, 1 and 2, and earned run average just under 5 in 4 starts so far. Last time out, suffered a loss at the hands of the Cincinnati Reds. Had a rough second inning.
Yeah, the Reds did their damage very quickly as Suter begins with a ball, and we are underway here at Miller Park. Suter finished strong. He retired the last 8 Reds hitters he faced. The game got away as the game moved along, but since then the Brewers have won 4 in a row. 2 balls, no strikes to Miguel Rojas, who lifts a high fly ball out toward Ryan Braun. And near the corner, he will have room for the first out of the ball game.
Well, let's check out the rest of the Brewers defense. You saw Ryan Braun able to shag that fly out in left field. You got Cain and Yelich Rounding out the outfield, Shaw, Sogard, VR, and Thames. Sogard at shortstop. Talk more about the injury to Orlando Arcia. Not as serious as everybody thought it might have been when it happened last night. And Jeff Bandy behind home plate.
Yeah, there he is. That was a scary moment in the 8th inning. We'll get into that as we move along. Derek Dietrich at the plate, sliding him down a spot in the order. Dietrich had a hit in 5 at-bats last night. And always quick working Brent Suter. It's the jump on the left fielder for the Miami Marlins. Brewers took the first 2 games in convincing fashion. 12-3 on Thursday night, 8-0 last night, 3 shutouts in the last 4 games for Milwaukee. And Dietrich will lift one in the air, and this is hit well into right field, and there will be no shutout tonight for Brewers pitching. Home run number 2 on the year for Derek Dietrich, and the Marlins grab the early lead.
Only the 2nd home run allowed by Suter so far this year. He's been doing a good job keeping the ball in the ballpark. Lefty versus lefty. Dietrich was leading off the first 2 games of the series. And there's the curveball down and in. That's a dangerous spot to leave any pitch to a left-hander. They like it down there, and he golfs it on out of here, giving the Fish a 1-0 lead.
Here is Starlin Castro. Castro 0 for 3 last night. Did reach via a walk. Marlins get the early jump here tonight. They actually led on Thursday night very briefly, 3-2. Lewis Brinson hitting a couple of home runs, including a 2-run shot in the 5th inning. But the Brewers had a very quick answer, scoring 3 in the bottom half of the inning and 7 in the 6th inning. To cruise in with a 12-3 win in the opener of this 4-game set. Rio pitched to Castro.
Yeah, they've been playing some pretty good baseball against the Marlins so far. Good pitching, errorless baseball, and the offense has come to life.
And Castro will hang around as the count is full. Former Chicago Cub, 4-time All-Star, coming over in the trade that sent Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees. Payoff pitch and into the shift. That is Jonathan VR, and that is out number 2. You mentioned that the pitching obviously has been terrific. The offense is fun. The offense makes the highlights, but the pitching has been good. And as you said, the errorless baseball these last 2 games. We know the Brewers have been very choppy at times defensively, but pretty tight here so far.
Yeah, one goes with the other. I mean, pitching deep into games for your starters and good defense, you know, limiting the opposition to 3 outs an inning. That's an important thing. Brewers need to tighten that up. They need to continue that, you know, for a nice long stretch.
One of the best defensive plays we've seen this year, turned in by Orlando Arcia last night, going out far into left field to run down a ball. A spectacular catch, had the teammates buzzing. And Craig Counsell was, after the game, made sure that the pitching, the work of the pitching staff, got a little recognition.
Yeah, you don't talk a lot about the pitching when you've scored 20 runs in 2 games, but they're certainly doing their part. Starting rotations had a nice stretch now. 2 times through the rotation, very good.
1-2 pitch to Anderson, and that is the first strikeout of the night for Brent Suter. Derek Dietrich opens the scoring. Lorenzo Cain will open the home half of the first. Marlins, Greg Council's team, now with a 4-game winning streak, the longest run of the season, now 12-9. Coming into tonight's game, here's the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, 1-2 again in the order. Ryan Braun third, Travis Shaw his cleanup. Eric Thames, Eric Sogard, Jonathan Villar, Jet Bandy, and Brent Suter round out the Milwaukee batting order against Jose Ureña.
Yeah, hard thrower. He's got good movement on his fastball. Fastball, slider, changeup for Ureña. Off to a rough start, 0-3. And last time out, a loss against the Pirates. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs in a 7-3 loss.
He was the opening day starter for Miami against the Chicago Cubs. Was Ureña. And gave up a home run on the season's first pitch to Ian Happ. And the Cubs did go on to win. 2 strikes to nothing to Lorenzo Cain, who's been all about getting on base in this series. He has reached 7 times in the first 2 games, 4 hits and 3 walks. The top of the order has just been outstanding.
Yeah, I mean that's what gets it going. You know, number 1 and 2 in the batting order when they get on base. They were on 7 times last night. Brewers with an 8th spot, a snowman on the fish last night.
Christian Yelich, run scoring triple last night. 2-2 pitch to Cain, and this is Rojas, tough play, and the throw is in time for out number 1.
And you're probably going to see a lot of that. I mean, pitches boring in on the hands of right-handed hitters. That arm side run, very good for Ureña. Let's check out the Marlins defensively. Got Dietrich, Brinson, Maben in the outfield. Anderson, Rojas, Castro, Bohr, same infield all 3 games of the series, and Brian Holiday behind home plate. It was JT Realmuto the first 2 games.
Yeah, Realmuto just getting into action this week, beginning the year on the disabled list with the back issue. Marlins continue to carry 3 catchers. There's the former Marlin Christian Yelich. Really got things going. The Brewers with the big inning last night, all after 2 were out. Did a lot of damage on 3 pitches. A Yelich triple, and then Braun and Shaw jumping on first pitches to drive him out of the ballpark.
Yeah, 4 runs, 3 pitches. It happens that quickly.
Yeah, the game turned for good in the Brewers' favor. So Ureña gets it up there. It's 97.
Yeah, he can rush it up there pretty good. I mean, his cruising speed, you know, as you're going to see throughout the game, going to be about 94, 95, but he can jump it up there at about 98 when he needs it.
Ball 2 strikes to Christian Yelich. Cain Yelich combo getting a little run this week after more than 2 weeks of not having that opportunity. Yelich just coming off the disabled list at the beginning of the work week. Out with the oblique issue. Looks to be just fine now. There's the 1-2. There's the first strikeout of the night for Jose Ureña, out number 2.
18 strikeouts, 21 innings, and you would expect a lot better strikeout ratio than that out of this guy. And wildness within the strike zone.
Well, you're right. His strikeouts per 9 were even lower last year. And it was a good year for Ureña. He won 14 games and 21 decisions. ERA of under 4. But even last year, his strikeouts per 9, 6.
Well, it's probably because he's very inconsistent with his other stuff. Doesn't matter how hard you throw. If hitters think that's all you're going to throw, and it really doesn't matter. They're going to get to you at some point. And that slider's a decent pitch for him. He'll also flip up a changeup now and again, but he's got a good running fastball.
Facing Ryan Braun, slaps a ground ball to the third baseman Brian Anderson, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for the Brewers. We are through 1 on a Saturday night at Miller Park. 1-0 Miami.
Not so bad. We've been talking about Ureña and the arm side fastball. 97 he was able to hit. Right-handed hitters have to be aware of that pitch in on him, and Brett Suter has to avoid the big inning like he was not able to do against the Reds his last time out. A 3-run second inning did him in.
In the first inning tonight, Suter gave up a solo homer to Derek Dietrich. So an early lead, and Jed Bandy needs a new mitt.
Pop a string. I mean, 85 miles an hour popping a string on a catcher's mitt.
Yet another contrast in styles tonight.
Yep, there's more where that came from here in the major leagues. You've got your gamer. You've got one that is ready to be a gamer, just in case, and then you're breaking in one or two. So an ample supply of catcher's mitts.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Catcher will typically go through a couple a year, but you always have the one that you prefer to use. So right now they're trying to fix the gamer for Jed Bandy right now. The glovesmith down there in the dugout.
Backup gear early tonight for Jed Bandy. 2-2 to Bohr. That goes through and into center field, a base hit. Well, we were talking about the injury to Orlando Arcia last night in the 8th inning. Let's get an update, more detail on the shortstop as we check in with Sophia.
Thanks, Matt. Overall, good news for Orlando Arcia. As you guys said, he left last night's game in the 8th after jamming his foot on first base. You see it here. He typically takes this wide turn when he gets around first, but as he came back in, jammed that right ankle in. But good news for them. X-rays are negative, and Craig Counsell says the off day will be important for him coming up on Monday. He said they'll reassess Arcia. They want to stay away from him today, likely out tomorrow, and then again the team off day on Monday. So Counsell said they're not completely out of the woods in terms of whether Arcia will be available for that series opener Tuesday in Kansas City, but overall they're encouraged that it wasn't a broken ankle or anything more serious.
Had to be very scary. He injured the ankle 6 years ago. You had to think, if you're Orlando, oh, here we go again. It didn't look good.
Yeah, broke it 6 years ago, and that was a serious injury. Missed most of the year that year. But yeah, Brewers breathing a sigh of relief.
Cameron Maben with a base hit. So a couple of hits here to begin the second inning for the Miami Marlins. Their offense showing signs of waking up.
The first time that Suter has ever faced the Miami Marlins, so you figure maybe early advantage for Suter, but not so fast. I mean, 3 hits already, and Maben able to turn that one around. Fastball in, the cutter. The cutter is much more effective when it's up and into a right-hander, not down and in.
A little trouble here in inning number 2 for Suter as he will face Lewis Brinson. His big night was Thursday. His first 2 homers as a Miami Marlin. Both of his homers and 3 of his 4 RBIs on this young season coming Thursday night. Those home runs off Chase Anderson. Kept him quiet last night, though.
Man, he was out of the game in the 5th inning. Double switched out of the game. Early exit for Brinson.
A second inning threat here for Miami. And that is hit well into left center field, and Lewis Brinson has his 3rd home run of the series and the season, and it's a 4-0 lead for Miami.
It went down and got that one, a pitch down in the strike zone, and Brinson showing really good power. So Brett Suter not able to avoid the big inning. We just talked about that. Another 3 runs in the 2nd inning in back-to-back starts. Not where he wanted it. Got too much of the plate. It was down, and Brinson turned it around quickly.
Saw flashes of this from Brinson last year. A couple of home runs in the 17 games he was with the Brewers last season. Those home runs coming against the Nationals. top prospect in the organization, one of 4 the Brewers sent to the Marlins to get Christian Yelich. Pretty good homecoming here for Brinson. Here's Brian Holiday, the catcher, lofting one toward Lorenzo Cain for out number 1.
And a little better that time, able to get in on the hands of Holiday, and that's where he's been most effective, in and up and in with the fastball.
So 1 away in the second for the pitcher Jose Ureña. 26-year-old. Hard throwing right-hander for the Marlins. A ball, a strike as Suter trying to settle down here in the early going. Ureña 0 for 5, 4 strikeouts. Make it 5 strikeouts. Out number 2 here in inning number 2. We mentioned the damage was done quickly in Brent's last start Monday against the Reds, and he did settle down and gave Counsell 5 innings. He retired the last 8, and see if he can settle into a little rhythm here tonight.
Yeah, bottom of the order got him against the Reds. They got him again tonight.
Lewis Brinson hitting 7th with a 2-run homer, or a 3-run homer, I should say. Here's Miguel Rojas. Rojas hit a fly ball to Braun to open the game. And Derek Dietrich trading places in the batting order. Rojas now at the top. Dietrich a home run in the first inning. 1-1 pitch to Rojas. These 2 teams wrap up the series tomorrow afternoon, and the Brewers head out for a 9-game road trip beginning Tuesday in Kansas City. 2-game series with the Royals, and from there 4 with the Cubs, 3 with Cincinnati. Cubs continuing their series with the Rockies tonight. Javier Baez is red hot for Chicago right now. Cubs winning big last night. Rojas draws a walk, and with 2 outs, he's the runner at first.
Yeah, Baez, I mean, red hot, and just about every one of his hits are extra bases, doubles, triples, homers, driving in a ton of runs.
And they put it on the Rockies last night, 16-5, an 18-hit night for Joe Maddon's team. Cardinals today beat the Reds 4-3. Here's Derek Dietrich, and he'll lift one into shallow right field. Christian Yelich will call for it, and that'll do it for the Marlins in the second inning. But another scoring inning for Miami, a 3-run homer from Brinson, 4-0 Marlins. He's a 3-run blast in the top half of this inning. His 3rd homer of the series. 4, 5, and 6 hitters now for the Brewers. Travis Shaw will lead things off. Talk about on-base percentage of the 1 and 2 hitters. The 3rd place hitter in the lineup also has a very healthy on-base percentage, and Travis Shaw. And drawing some walks, and he's also doing this. Back into the back-to-back, followed Braun's bomb with this solo shot. Powerball home run count. 3 on the year now for Travis Shaw.
He likes it down here, doesn't he?
He does.
Down around the knees.
A lot. A whole lot. Saw one he liked and drove it.
That's a nice easy swing. Just that's a natural swing for a lefty. That slight uppercut like that. And it's always been a dangerous spot to throw a left-handed hitter. Down and in.
Yes, some more than others, and he would be one of those. The opposing pitcher, you try to avoid it, but Shaw sends one opposite field, and it gets the Brewers on the board. Travis Shaw, number 4 on the year, and it's 4-1.
And he can do that too, opposite field. That one down and in. Guys are starting to feel it at the plate. 96, outer half, about mid-thigh, and see you later. That one over the Brewers bullpen.
Baseball's flying out of the yard in the early going tonight. Here's Eric Thames. Thames having himself a nice homestand. 4 hits, 2 are home runs. Shaw, his 2nd homer in as many nights. Yeah, that part of the order is heating up.
Saw a shot in dugout, and he saw Orlando Arcia walking. It didn't look like he was limping at all.
Yeah, it was. You know, when he limped off the field last night, you're thinking this could be really bad news.
Yeah, he needed help getting off. Yeah.
And ended up much better not long after, able to walk out of the clubhouse in pretty good shape. So they'll keep an eye on him here these next couple of days. Remember, the Brewers are off on Monday. And they'll start the 2-game series with the Royals in Kansas City. We were all bracing for some not so good news, but it's encouraging.
Good as it could be.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Thames. That's hit well into right field, but right to Cameron Maben for out number 1.
That top spin liner right at the right fielder. Hit that one right on the nose. Hey, a reminder, the first Brewers bobblehead giveaway of the season is set for tomorrow afternoon. All fans at Miller Park, where the series finale against the Marlins will take home a collectible Eric Thames bobblehead courtesy of Toyota. Secure your seats at brewers.com.
Another well done bobblehead. The elbow guard, got the pose, as we've already seen 7 times this season. Here's Eric Sogard with Arcia out tonight. Sogard gets the call at shortstop. In the course of a season, you'll get bleeders that get through, bloops that fall, and then you'll hit into some bad luck the way Sogard has on a couple of occasions in the last week. He just missed what would have been a game-tying home run on Monday night against Cincinnati. I mean, he drove it deep to right, but it hooked just foul at Citi Field over the weekend. He also got into one, but the wind, which was coming in pretty strong from right field, knocked it down. Such is life in a baseball season.
This might be just what Sogard needs. Maybe some consistent playing time while Arcia is out. Maybe tonight, tomorrow, get some at-bats. Sometimes, you know, you get those consistent at bats. It's just what you need to get going.
He works Ureña to a full count. Every Brewer fan know the kind of start that Sogard had for the Brewers last year. And he came up to the big club in May.
Tough to match that, though.
Very tough.
You know, with the home runs. Not a home run hitter.
And in on the hands, a ground ball to Justin Bohr for out number 2. Ureña last year began the season in the bullpen. He had 6 appearances, but injuries were starting to pile up to the rotation, and he ended up making 28 starts. 14-7 with 382 earned run average.
Yeah, those are good numbers. Real good numbers, especially the earned run average. You don't have a whole lot of control with wins and losses. What you can control is that ERA, and that's a pretty good one.
Yeah, gave his team a chance far more often than not. Here's Jonathan VR. Had a tough night at the plate. Getting some things done in the field, but VR struggled at the plate last night. But if you're going to do it on a night where everybody else picks you up in an 8-0 win.
Yeah, didn't need him last night.
Off to a solid start at the plate. Got some good numbers with runners in scoring position. Base is empty here with 2 men out. Travis Shaw leading off this inning with a home run. It gets Milwaukee on the scoreboard. Marlins showing a little home run power. Derek Dietrich in the first. Lewis Brinson a 3-run homer the top half of this second inning. Ureña delivers the 1-2.
I don't think he's throwing a fastball under 95, has he? I mean, he's coming out firing tonight. He's throwing one changeup. I don't remember seeing a slider. He threw a changeup in the first inning.
The 1-2. Hit into the shift. Castro is there. And that'll do it for the Brewers in the second inning. But Milwaukee gets on the scoreboard courtesy of the third baseman, Travis Shaw, who goes opposite field, getting the Brew Crew on the board. We're through 2 at Miller Park. Marlins 4, Brewers 1. Here in the third inning. This summer, the World Cup's coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and more than 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. And Suter back at it, facing Starlin Castro. Castro, Anderson, and Justin Moore for Miami here in the third. Castro's been around a while now, still just 28 years old, 3 All-Star seasons with the Cubs. Led the National League in hits, in fact, back in 2011.
Yeah, hard to believe he's only 28, right? I mean, it seems like he's been around forever.
Had a good year with the Yankees last season. Was part of that Giancarlo Stanton trade. A much different looking Marlins outfit. Completely different outfield. Marcelo Zuna with the Cardinals. Of course, Yelich with the Brew Crew. At the beginning of the series, the Marlins had the least powerful outfield in baseball, but Lewis Brinson has had a little something to say about that.
Yeah, they had 1 home run coming in.
There's Castro, a base hit into center field.
And they've hit 4 in the series.
And a throw gets away. Castro trying to get another base, and Eric Thames with the glove flip to VR, and Castro is out.
And the only chance that he had was flipping it out of the glove, playing some highlight. Actually, well done by Eric Thames, and put in a very good spot. They were able to make the tag. And another base hit by the Marlins against Suter. He's having a difficult time. Cain's throw gets away from VR, but Eric Thames there to save the day. Able to get him. How about that? That's not something you see every day.
No. Beauty of this sport. What are you going to see this time around? So it's a base hit, 3-4 then on the putout of Starlin Castro. Good work by Eric Thames. Here's Brian Anderson.
Good job backing up. First baseman has really nothing to do in a play like that. Just back up the throw in. He did that, and they were able to get the out.
Anderson struck out to end the first inning. A 24-year-old third baseman, a third-round pick for the Marlins 4 years ago out of Arkansas. One-two pitch on the way.
Really having a rough time with that cutter up and in tonight. I saw that a few starts ago. That's his bread and butter, that cut fastball. And when he doesn't have that pitch, he's not putting it where he wants, which is normally up and in, as we said. It's a battle for him out there. It's a lot of jam shots on that pitch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That's hit well into left field. Braun's going back, and that's going to bang off the wall. Braun with the throw to second, and Anderson gets in there with a double. Oh, it is a tough night so far for Brent Suter.
And not getting that cutter in far enough. See Bandy sitting up inside. You see where he leaves it out over the plate, and Anderson able to rip it off the wall out and left. You know, the Marlins scouting report has been pretty good so far. Look inside, and you're going to get something to hit, and that's exactly what's been going on. Suter's been effective with the off speed away tonight.
See if we can get back to that with Justin Moore, who singled to center, got that inning started. The 3-run inning started for the Marlins. Trying to work him inside and missed. Mentioned throughout the series, Bohr has had some pretty good numbers in this ballpark. He has been kept relatively quiet in the series. Guy with a powerful bat.
Just really strong. I mean, he stands back there. That base hit that he had in the first inning or the second inning, just kind of threw the bat out there. He hit a bullet back through the middle. Very strong.
25 homer season for Bohr a year ago. Marlins got him the Rule 5 draft back in 2013. One and two the count. Breakout year for Bohr. 25 homers, the 83 RBIs. Brian Anderson, a double. He's the runner at second with one out. 1-2. Marlins already with 6 hits in the game. Two of them home runs. Suter ahead in the count, a ball, 2 strikes. Mentioning Brent trying to follow up on what's been happening. Yelich Chassin pitching well last night. He got through the first inning. He needed 27 pitches to get through the first inning and then settled in.
Yeah, 6 scoreless last night.
Gave up just 4 hits. Bohr will lift one into left field. Ryan Braun is there for out number 2.
They would get him on a breaking pitch. And breaking pitch, he's had a difficult time throwing for strikes early in the count. One of the reasons why the Marlins have been so successful on the fastball.
Two outs. Anderson the runner at second for Cameron Maben. Signed on with the Marlins about a week or so before spring training began. Maben's big year was with the Padres back in 2011. 40 stolen base season for him. Played very well in center field.
Yeah, when he came up, I mean, there were a lot of folks in baseball thought this guy was going to be a superstar. Just hadn't been able to put it together. That consistency a little lacking, and still has a lot of ability.
10th overall selection in that 2005 draft. But Maben had a role in the Astros winning the World Series over the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was out there, in fact, for the final out. A ball, a strike. Suter trying to settle in. Castro led off with a single. And when the throw from Cain got away from Jonathan Villar, Thames was there to back up and took care of Castro trying to get second. Or a fly ball to left in between, a Brian Anderson double. Pickoff attempt. Marlins have been hitting the ball hard.
And really the first time in this series up except for Lewis Brinson in game 1. Can't get a feel for that curveball. Kind of drop that in down in the strike zone, out of the strike zone down if he is ahead in the count. Just missing the outside part of the plate.
Suter ready with the 2-2. In the air to right. And that will carry out of play. First big road trip of the year for Miami. Their schedule's been home heavy. First few weeks of the season. From here they go on to LA, 3-game series with the Dodgers. This is the middle stop. They had 2 games against the Yankees. 2-2 pitch is wafted out to left and shallow. Coming on is Braun. That'll do it for Miami in inning number 3. They strand a runner. Bottom of the 3rd we go. 4-1 Marlins.
By T-Mobile. We go out to Yankee Stadium earlier this afternoon, and Aaron Judge, just a complete moonshot. This one goes 443 feet, 160 miles per hour off the bat. This would give the Yankees an early 2-0 lead. That's his 4th home run off of Marcus Stroman, his most against any pitcher, and his 6th home run of the season. So Aaron Judge off to a great start. The Yankees would go on to win that game 9-1.
Man, when we saw him last July, he probably gets this every time somebody comes through the first time. You just want to take a look and you're going, really?
Yeah.
That's a big, big man.
All rise.
That's exactly right. Here's Jed Bandy leading off the 3rd inning.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Yankees fan or not, when you hear the radio clip of John Sterling on a Aaron Judge home run, can't help but smile a little bit.
And he's such a good guy too, Aaron
Yes.
Judge. I mean, he comes from very humble beginnings, rough upbringing, and well, he's turned himself into a quality young man, not just a baseball player.
I think anybody who listened to him last year think, boy, here's a guy who gets it. Strikes and nothing to Jet Bandy. 8-9-1 in the Milwaukee order against Jose Ureña. And Ureña gets a strikeout of Bandy to begin the 3rd.
Well, first time through for Ureña has been the fastball. Big movement on it, big velocity. And we'll see what he ends up doing second time through. Look at the movement. That was actually changeup right there. 91 on the changeup. That gives you an idea how hard he's throwing that fastball tonight.
Little Syndergaard-esque right there. Here's Suter. Oh, it's interesting though, the year that Judge is having so far, the start, Yankees are 10-9. Right now they're all looking up at the Red Sox. 17-2, which brings up the comparison to the 87 Brewers and the start you guys had.
17-1, right?
Yeah, this is the best start since that Brewers team.
Yeah, they're doing everything right, the Red Sox.
8-game winning streak, back-to-back strikeouts for Ureña in the 3rd, and quickly there are 2 men out. Back to the top of the order. Well, the big inning last night for the Brewers came with 2 outs. Lorenzo Cain got things started. That was against Trevor Richards. Ureña on a pretty good roll here so far.
You got to figure Ureña sitting in that dugout first 2 games saying these guys are swinging the bats pretty well, and if they're going to hit me, they're going to have to hit my best stuff. I'm not going to mess around, and that seems what he's doing. I'm not going to be making mistakes with, you know, a spinning slider down the middle of the plate.
Cain, ground ball to Brian Anderson, and the throw is wide of Bohr, and Lorenzo Cain is on.
That looked kind of funny. Bohr never came off the bag. He certainly had time to come off the bag and go get it. It didn't look like that bad a throw. Look where the foot is, right on top of the bag, and he had time to come off the bag, get the baseball, and either tag Cain or put his foot back on first base. That's going to be an E5, but it certainly shouldn't have been.
Sails into the dugout, so Cain is the runner at second on the error, and we'll see if the Brewers can take advantage of the mistake. Yelich has been good with runners in scoring position.
There's a ball.
Yep. Cain will get third.
Yeah, Rojas came in behind Cain, and it looked like Ureña kind of flinched, and that's all it takes. They called a balk. Now Cain at third base with 2 outs. Right there. Yep. Split the hands before he stepped off.
A chance for the Brewers to chip away. Good block by Brian Holiday. Slider in the dirt.
One of the few that he's thrown. That's a heck of a play by the Marlins catcher.
Ball, no strikes. Ureña facing Christian Yelich. Yelich 5 for 10. Runners in scoring position. It's a changeup at 90.
Yeah, slider changeup. You were wondering if he was going to, do something different second time through the batting order. He's certainly doing something different with Yelich.
Yes, he is. A ball, a strike. Cain, the runner at third. Yelich has an on-base percentage of .476. His first 6 games did a lot of damage and then went on the 10-day DL with the oblique injury. And there's a ground ball in the hole. Rojas the stop, and a good play to end the inning. So an error and a balk, but the Marlins dance out of trouble. We are through 3 in Milwaukee. It's 4-1 Miami. Cain and Yelich, you have to give up some quality prospects, and Brinson, who did not homer before the Marlins came to Miller Park, has hit 3 in the series, 2 on Thursday night off Chase Anderson, and a 3-run shot in the second inning off Suter tonight.
And every one of the pitches center cut for him. Yeah, cutter from Suter, fastball slider from Chase Anderson.
You see nothing in those first 61 at bats. Brinson leading off the 4th inning. In that stretch for Brinson, it included an 0 for 26 run. So he's experienced a lot. Marlins getting him in there every day, or almost every day. Don Mattingly gave Brinson a chance to catch his breath, regroup a little bit in the Yankees series. Made some adjustments, and it's proven to be a very good move for the Marlins manager. A ball, a strike to the Miami center fielder.
Yeah, just keep the baseball away from the middle of the plate, right? You know, those home runs that he's hit right down the middle.
Here comes the 1-2. Got him.
There you go. Up.
Out number 1 in the 4th.
Well, just leave it in the middle of the plate, but up out of the strike zone. And even at 88 miles an hour, Brinson underneath, a little behind it. Stay out of the hot zone.
1 away for the catcher, Brian Holiday. He attacks the first pitch. And this is popped up. There will be a play for Jet Bandy. 2 up, 2 down.
Hey, step up your next Brewers group outing with tickets in one of Miller Park's 5 spectacular all-inclusive areas. These premium group spaces feature incredible sight lines, first-class amenities, and complimentary food and drink. Learn more at brewers.com/all-in.
Good crowd on a Saturday night. Suter looking for his first clean inning of the game, facing Jose Ureña. Similar to Monday, Suter showing signs of getting a little bit of rhythm going as he has his 1-2-3 inning. Suter taking care of business in all of 7 pitches. Travis Shaw, who is homered, will hit second as the Brewers come calling in the bottom of the 4th inning. Miami leads 4-1. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Pepsi, this is the Pepsi for your crew. 2-1. Marlins lead the Brewers. We move to the bottom half of the fourth inning here at Miller Park. Ryan Braun will lead things off. Well, a couple nights ago, Ryan Braun joined the 1,000 RBI club, and those are the active players in quadruple digits with runs batted in. Albert Pujols more than 1,900. Braun reaching 1,000 a couple of nights ago. 2-run homer last night to give him 1,002.
I'd say Albert Pujols, boy, that's a lot of RBIs, man. Almost 2,000.
I mean, for the
incredible.
Fair to say that at his peak, he was as good a player as there was, regardless of position. He was just tremendous.
Well, you're not going to get any argument from Brewers fans.
No. With a lot of clenched teeth, probably at the mention of the name, but
yeah,
could do it all. 2 balls, no strikes to Ryan Braun. He's homered each of the last 2 games.
You think about 1,900 RBIs. I mean, that's 19 years of 100 RBIs. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Well, it is. I mean, you think, Sophia, her conversation with Ryan Braun, and it's true. I mean, you get to 1,000 RBIs, as Craig Counsell mentioned, that's a longevity kind of statistic there. You have to be at a high level for a long time, and Braun has been.
Yeah.
And then you look at Pujols, it's crazy.
Yeah. First ballot Hall of Famer for sure.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Ryan Braun, leading off here the bottom of the 4th inning. Braun, Shaw, and Thames. Braun into left center field, and that will fall. A base hit. Big turn, Braun. It got away from Brinson, and Braun's on his way into second. Good start to the 4th.
Kind of an interesting route by Dietrich out there. It looked as though he might have been able to catch that, but maybe he was run off by Brinson. Not sure. Ryan Braun will take it. There's that 2-seam fastball from Ureña coming up and in. This time Ryan Braun able to get pretty good wood on it. Well, maybe not. I guess maybe he wasn't able to get there. Backing up the play, and Ryan Braun with a leadoff double.
Well, we talk about nice numbers that Braun has in his career. He has just hit himself into another one. Travis Shaw at the plate. A double for Ryan Braun marks his 700th career extra base hit. Some pretty numbers for Braun this week.
Yeah, starting to light it up a little bit. You knew he would. We were talking about those RBIs for Albert Pujols. The all-time record, you figure, Hank Aaron, 2,297 RBIs. Man.
To do that for that long. You need some good fortune, stay healthy enough, but my goodness.
Yeah. The only other 2 guys in all time with 2,000 or more RBIs, Babe Ruth and Alex Rodriguez.
A very short list.
Yeah.
Pujols is not all that far away from joining that list. 3 balls, no strikes to Travis Shaw. He is 5 for 7 in the series. He has walked 4 times. He has been all about getting on base or homering, which he's done twice in the series, including tonight.
Well, he took a fastball away and knocked it out of here to left center. Let's see if Ureña tries to come in on him and leave one down. We know he likes the ball down.
The 3-1. Shaw draws another walk. So a little something going on here for the Brewers in the 4th. A double followed by a walk, and that sets the table for Eric Thames. As the big man steps to the plate, let's check out the Powerball home run leaderboard. Thames with 7. Ryan Braun with 5. Travis Shaw hitting number 4 tonight. Thames with a couple of long balls in this homestand, a pair of 2-run homers Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon as the Brewers got back-to-back 2-0 wins against the Reds. Homers now for Thames in the month of April in the last 2 seasons. This Miller Park crowd well aware is starting to stir up in here a bit. Brewers spotted Miami a 4-run lead early. Seven homers, 12 RBIs, by the way, for Thames. The 1-1. To the changeup and a foul.
Yeah, really good spot for it, too, down and away. And you throw that pitch down and away like that, then he's going to give you 97 in on your hands, and that really makes it a very tough at bat. And he puts it where he wants it.
Start number 5 for Ureña, but the first away from Marlins Park. The 1-2. Take by Thames.
That's exactly what he did, right? Change up away, fastball in, just missed the corner.
First 2 have reached for Milwaukee in the 4th. On a double, Shaw a walk. Here comes a 2-2. And that will slip through into right field, a base hit. Braun takes the turn. He's heading home. Shaw into third. And it's a 4-2 ball game. RBI single for Eric Thames.
Yeah, Brewers creeping back in the ball game here. Run in, nobody out still. RBI for Thames, hit with a man in scoring position. There's a changeup. It was away, but it was up, giving Thames a chance to get a bat on it, and sneaks it into right field. Good piece of hitting by Thames, waiting back on a changeup. Just out of the reach of Castro.
First 3 men aboard. 13th RBI of the year for Thames. Here's Eric Sogard with runners at the corners.
He's due to find a hole here.
The lineup tonight with Orlando Arcia out. The ankle injury suffered last night. You're just joining us, though. Not as bad as it could have been. X-rays were negative last night with Arcia's ankle. Keeping him out tonight. Perhaps tomorrow, and the Brewers are off on Monday.
He should be ready to go Tuesday against Kansas City.
Ball is strike to Sogard. And a ground ball to Castro. And he bobbles it, takes away the double play. They'll get just one. As Shaw will score, the Brewers pull to within a run.
And Castro had an error last night. That's not going to be an error, but a misplay should have been a double play. Sogard will get an RBI because they weren't able to turn a double play. Just lost the handle on it. And they only play at first base, so the Brewers still have a man in scoring position. Thanks to the misplay by Starlin Castro.
A couple of runs here for the Brewers in the 4th inning. Here's Jonathan VR. He grounded to Castro to win the 2nd inning. VR with some good numbers. With a runner in scoring position, 6 for 17. And you see the difference. Runners anywhere. He likes a little traffic out on the bases. And he's got Thames at second right now. Shows bunt.
This guy can't be a very easy guy to bunt on. You know, the way his pitch moves and how hard he throws. I would imagine he'd be a tough guy to catch. A lot of movement with everything he throws.
RBI single for Thames here in this 4th inning for the Brewers. 2-0 pitch. Bouncing ball. Rojas. That is out number 2. Thames will move to 3rd.
Brewers do have activity in their bullpen. Let's see if the Marlins elect to walk Bandy to see what Craig Counsell's going to do. Red Suter's spot is due up next.
It's Jacob Barnes. Delivered a 6-out save for the Brewers on Wednesday afternoon.
He just started to throw. Just got up now.
Good slider to Bandy. He has pushed across a couple of runs here to pull to within 1. Bandy getting the bulk of the work this week. Manny Pena still working his way back on the disabled list with a calf injury.
Man, Manny's not far from coming back. Maybe early in the next road trip.
Been increasing his workout routine. That's the fun part, talking about guys who are on their way back. Now, if they could just stop getting guys hurt, have something going here. Doesn't always work that way, though, right?
It seems like that's a baseball-wide issue right now.
It really is.
Guys getting hurt.
Well, the Brewers definitely not alone. Marlins have had their injury issues. You can go all across the league. Two balls, 2 strikes to Jet Bandy. And a full count now to the Brewers catcher. Domingo Santana in the on deck circle. Ames the runner at third. Braun began the inning with a double. Shaw walked. RBI single for Thames. Ground ball from Sogard that scored Shaw. Ureña with a payoff. One homer for Bandy that occurred last weekend in New York. Off of Matt Harvey, who, by the way, has been moved to the bullpen for the Mets.
How about that? Yep. Ineffective as a starter, and now in the bullpen. You know what the next move is.
Ureña ready with a 3-2.
And we're going right after Bandy because of Santana on deck. Would not be surprised if Bandy makes an out here. Suter goes back out.
Suter did work a 1-2-3 fourth inning. Again the 3-2 pitch, and again a foul ball.
It's interesting that Suter's standing there with his helmet on. He's got his batting gloves on, bat. Maybe Santana's just a decoy.
You're saying, Skip, I can hit.
Maybe just trying to convince Craig Counsell, hey, look, I'm going to get a hit.
I feel it. Got one in me. Good battle going on here. Ninth pitch of the at bat coming up. And here it is. Ground ball to Rojas. And the throw is in time. That'll do it for the Brewers here in the fourth, but they pick up a couple of runs. We've got a good one going on at Miller Park. It's 4-3 Miami.
And we just want to remind you that this weekend, Brewers Community Foundation is hosting its first of 4 Drive for Charity events here at Miller Park this season. BCF asks that fans attending tomorrow's game bring full-size toiletries to the ballpark for a donation, and in exchange, fans will receive a commemorative pin.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. A good crowd here tonight. This day, Saturday, good day to tailgate. Come on in on Superheroes Night, Rock.
Do you have your bobblehead? We got our bobbleheads here. We got the Thames bobblehead coming tomorrow.
Big weekend.
Yeah.
Miguel Rojas leading things off. Top of the order for Miami. Rojas, Dietrich, and Castro. Suter's retired the last 5, trying to finish strong like he did on Monday night. His team chipping away. Marlins broke out to an early 4-0 lead. Home run power, the story. Dietrich a solo shot. It was Brinson a 3-run homer in the second. There's a liner right to Travis Shaw for out number 1.
Another hard hit baseball. This time Shaw able to grab it. Yep, right at him, no problem. Been there 100 years.
Here's Derek Dietrich. Looks at a curve for strike 1.
Did you notice the ball strikes announced as the Captain America shield up there?
It's very well done. They do a good job of decorating the scoreboard in these special event nights. Here's a pop up. Villar will squeeze it for out number 2. Right there. Really, it was there. You had to look fast, but it was there.
They chased it on him.
We saw it for about 0.2 of a second.
It's good effort. There it is.
There you go.
Captain America shield.
Is that your guy? If you had to pick, that's your superhero?
My guy?
Yeah. We know you're into this.
You're my superhero.
Thanks, Rock. You had me at hello.
I'm a Batman guy. I'm a Batman guy.
Batman? Okay.
Yeah, Batman.
All right.
The old days, you know, Adam West.
Mm-hmm.
That Batman.
Yeah, I got you.
Not the movie Batman.
The series.
Right.
Was it Burt Ward? Was he Robin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Okay.
And you?
He's kind of a Superman, you know. Up in the sky.
The series. The series of the movie.
The series.
Yeah.
Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, Superman.
Right.
That's how it went.
Yep.
Two old guys talking about TV shows in the 60s. There's a liner into left field, a base hit for Starlin Castro.
Half the audience has no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
It's okay.
The other half does. It's not our former producer Brad Weimer, now with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's big into that stuff.
Star Wars.
That's right, Star Wars.
Huge.
How could I forget?
Right.
But I'm sure he's into superhero night too. Just like that young man. Kind of low key in it, but he's got enough going on there. Unlike our current producer Brent Reeland, all business.
All business.
Director Renardo Lowe.
Voice of reason, calming influence down there.
Very steady.
Yep.
They just let us fly off the handle. That bounces up there, gets away from Bandy, and Castro will move up a base. So a wild pitch has a runner in scoring position for Miami. Suter got through the first two. A line out from Rojas, a pop up from Derek Dietrich.
Anderson, his last time up, took a cut fastball that was in and ripped it off the wall and left. Be careful with that location.
It's 3-0 now to Anderson. It's their BA. RBA is tweeting photos to various members of the Fox Sports Wisconsin crew from tropical locations.
Is he on the beach?
I think so. NBA playoff duties for our Brian Anderson.
Is he tweeting?
He's been tweeting a little bit. You know, just where he is, who he's with. Nothing about us. Not like, how are you guys doing? Everything all right? I'll be at game fill in the blank. You know, if it's the Heat, Sixers, or whatever is next on the itinerary of our guy.
He knows we're good.
And there is a base hit, and their BA just delivered a base hit into right field. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it gets through, and scoring is Starlin Castro. And it's a 5-3 ball game as the Marlins pick up a run here in the fifth.
Yeah, good approach right there for Brian Anderson, taking that pitch away and hitting it hard into right field. It's getting a little bit too much of the plate tonight. I mean, a lot of pitches in the strike zone, trying to catch the outside corner where it was down in the count. It was down in the count 3-0, had to come in, and Anderson able to hit one hard into right. So 2 outs, nobody on, back to back after the wild pitch, and the Marlins tack on.
There's Justin Moore. And good move from Suter. Made that fairly interesting.
Yeah, he's got a good move. Controls the running game well.
Moore tonight has singled and scored. He is at a fly ball to left. And a hard grounder knocked down by Thames. He has time. Feeds Suter, inning over. Marlins pick up a run here off Suter in the top half of the fifth. Move to the bottom half of inning number 5. It's 5-3 Miami.
Here at Miller Park. Time now for our UW Whitewater Minor League Scouting Report. For the Biloxi Shuckers last night, big nights at the plate. Lucas Ersic, 4 for 5, a home run, 4 RBIs. Shortstop Jake Hager had a great night as well, 4 for 5, a home run for him as well, 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. That was a big win for the Shuckers, 15-5. They had 19 hits, so the bat's going even at the minor league level, Matt and Rock.
Yeah, they are. Beginning organizational depth. Talked about that with David Stearns last night.
Yep, it's been put to the test already. The Brewers have made a number of moves, bringing guys up. The shuttle between Colorado Springs and Milwaukee. A lot of teams are doing that, though.
Yeah, they are.
Trying to manipulate their pitching staffs and bullpens in particular.
Domingo Santana pinch hitting for Brent Suter to begin the 5th inning for Milwaukee. Ball 2 strikes. Brewers put a couple on the board against Ureña in the 4th inning. Santana, Cain, and Yelich. Here's the 2-2. It up there as high as 97, showing a changeup, an occasional slider. And this with one there. Good at bat for Santana, drawing a walk here to start the 5th.
Yeah, throwing a few more sliders. He was doing that second time through. Basically just fastball first time through the batting order. And you can see that he really didn't have much command of that pitch. I mean, really most of the sliders that he's throwing have really not even been close.
Ureña was on the mound in relief a couple of years ago here. And Jonathan Lucroy hit a bloop single with 1 out in the 9th inning. That broke up a combined no-hit bid from the Miami Marlins. Adam Conley started that game with 7 2/3. Brewers actually mounted a little rally. Ureña was on the mound when the Brewers broke up the no-hitter. 0-1 the count to Cain.
Another slider, just really no feel for that pitch.
Lead off walk for the pinch hitter Domingo Santana.
And you ask yourself how a guy that can throw as hard as Ureña can with big movement, how you can have a 5.5 ERA. You're seeing it. Not much to go with it.
Well, two and one to Lorenzo Cain. Cain reached on an error in the third inning. He's left stranded at third. The 2-1. Brewers offense has come alive. 12 runs on Thursday, 8 last night. See if they can move the line here in inning number 5. Hitters count for Cain. Four hits in the series for Lorenzo. 3 walks as well. The 3-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball through. Base hit for Cain. Santana to second. And the first 2 are on for Milwaukee.
And 96 with a fastball, able to find the hole, able to pull it. Brewers are getting much better swings on that fastball now. Well, the second time that Ureña has started against the Brewers in his career. 6th game overall. Got the bat head out. He knew he was going to get a fastball, got it, and able to find the hole into left field.
Be a mound conference as Juan Nieves comes out.
They're trying to get a reliever ready in the bullpen. No left-handed relievers for the Marlins.
Did you catch up with Juan on this series?
I did talk to him yesterday. Doing well. Had a nice run as a pitching coach. Was there in Boston as a pitching coach, and now with the Marlins. He started as a bullpen coach with the White Sox.
That is Nick Wickren warming up. Just called him up a couple of days ago. Yeah, he has. Juan is really, he's carved a pretty nice niche for himself as a pitching coach at this level. Here's Christian Yelich.
A number of former Brewer pitchers as pitching coach. Chris Bosio in Detroit. Bob McClure in Philly along with Rick Kranitz.
Oh, 0-1 the count to Yelich. There's runners at first and second. Good changeup from Ureña. Yelich tonight has struck out. He is grounded to short.
You can see that pitch. I mean, up and down the middle of the plate, but it's the speed. There's something a little off of that fastball. Gets the Brewers out in front.
Here's the 2-strike pitch. For Yelich, this is just game number 10. He's already factored into a few of these Brewers wins. They come in 12-9 and winners of 4 straight. Ureña again with the 0-2. Yelich will need a new bat.
92 in the changeup and had him right out on the end. Yep, those cut bats, that happens a lot when you get them on the end like that. 92-mile-an-hour changeup. You don't see many of those.
Seeing one tonight from the 26-year-old right-hander looking for his first winning decision since last September 20th. That was his 14th and final winning decision of 2017. Taking a long look in at his catcher Brian Holiday. And Yelich sends one into right center field. Going back is Maben at the track. Out number one is moving to third will be Domingo Santana.
And right back to the changeup, and he nearly hit it out of the ballpark. Just a little on the end. Just missed it. Nice at bat. A battle on 0-2. Look at Yelich go down, bends the knees, tries to keep that bat in the hitting zone a long time, and nearly hits one out of here. That wasn't a bad pitch.
Warning track fly ball from Yelich, and now Ryan Braun steps to the plate. Got things started in the last inning. The double to left center. An average creeping up there now for Braun. Scuffling first couple of weeks, but starting to warm up. He's gone deep twice here in the homestand. Ureña drops a slider in there for strike one. Braun, another one of those Brewer hitters who likes a little traffic out there. Two of those 4 home runs, game winners. And in San Diego, and the walk-off against the Cardinals. Runners going. Braun sends one into center field, but there will be room for Lewis Brinson for out number 2. But a productive out as Santana will tag and score. A sacrifice fly for Braun, and the Brewers are back to within a run.
Yep, RBI starting to mount up for Braun and just missed that fastball. He had a near miss last night early in the game. Yep, 96 miles an hour in, and Ryan's looking for it. Why wouldn't you look for it, right? Nothing else really, other than the change up to the lefties, has been effective. Just got under it. Just like Yelich, just missing one.
So it's a 5-4 game. Travis Shaw to the plate. Shaw having another good night. Took Ureña deep in the second inning. This is how it looked.
Fastball away and knocks it out of here over the Brewers bullpen. Exit velocity 108 miles an hour.
The 1-0.
Throwing a lot of changeups all of a sudden to the lefties. Not so much to the right-handed batters.
Four homers, 10 RBIs for Shaw. Cain is 4 of 5 in steal attempts. Now 3-0 to Travis Shaw. Walk from Santana, a single for Cain, a couple of fly balls since.
Three 3-0 changeup. There it is. Shaw had the green light, swung right through it.
The 3-1. There's a fly ball hit back into right field. Maben at the track. There's some warning track fly balls from the Brewers here in the 5th inning. They pick up another run. It's 5-4 Marlins after 5.
earned run 5-4. Jacob Barnes coming in for this Brewers bullpen, and they have been outstanding over their last 4 games. They have 5 relievers that have an earned run average under 2, and you see they've covered 12 2/3 innings. They have not given up a run in that span on just 4 hits, and the strikeout number is impressive as well at 15. And talking to bullpen coach Lee Tunnell about what makes this group so effective, he said in the bullpen we preach that you always want to take the ball. He said this group truly pulls for each other. He said they do a great job preparing each day, and he said they've all done that to a man. And so he said when you do it for the group, he said it's much easier to come in and answer the bell. And Craig Counsell echoed those comments as well. He said obviously it's been a strength of this team at this point in this season. They've all had to assume different roles since they lost all-star closer Corey Knebel, but he says they've all kind of taken their share of getting outs, and that's the way that they want to continue operating. But Corey Knebel took a big step forward today. He actually threw his first bullpen since that hamstring injury, and Counsell said certainly great progress for him. He's ahead of schedule, but they're going to continue to be cautious with his bullpen work because that's where the injury happened, was on the mound.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Yeah, it's encouraging. That was another injury that looked real scary. Corey Knebel collapsed out on the mound with that hamstring injury. But they do, Rock. They find a way to figure things out, this bullpen. You have Jacob Barnes now. We saw him with a 6-out save a couple days ago.
We're going back to the old days, right? I mean, every one of the Brewers relievers is able to go multiple innings. We've seen that a lot. And I think you see that from a lot of these teams these days, understanding that, starters aren't going deep into games. You've got an 8-man pen. And Jacob Barnes on a number of occasions has gone 2 innings. Probably going to see that again tonight.
Cameron Maben leading things off. Brent Suter went the first 5, gave up the 8 hits and the 5 runs that the Marlins have. Walked 1, struck out 4.
Of course, that all depends. The amount of time Barnes is out there is going to depend on the Brewers' offense. If his spot comes up, he will be gone. But there used to be a bunch of 1-inning guys in everybody's bullpen. Not anymore.
Good start for Barnes here in the 6th. Punches out Cameron Maben. Yeah, you're right. 1 inning or 1 guy by the cases.
Right, your situational lefty. Craig Counsell's never been a big believer in that. Kind of ties up your bullpen when you have a spot, committed, to just a guy that can only give you maybe 2 outs.
One out of the 6th as Barnes gets set to face Lewis Brinson.
A little different look here, right?
A little bit.
Brent Suter, you're looking at 10 more miles an hour.
The velo picks up a little bit. Again with Brinson, who has been a problem for Brewers pitchers in the series. 2 homers Thursday, a 3-run home run tonight. That came in the 2nd inning off Suter. Here's the 2-0. Brinson along with Isan Diaz, Monte Harrison, Jordan Yamamoto sent from Milwaukee to Miami to get Yelich. The 2-1 pitch. Hitters count for Brinson. Remember the one appearance where Barnes was charged with runs that came against the Cubs on April 7th. But he didn't have a lot of help behind him. The defense was very, very choppy in that 9th inning.
Was it 1 ball out of the infield and suffered a blown save? Yeah, pitched well, but just didn't get the breaks.
Full count to the Marlins center fielder. Brewers bullpen asked to keep this game close. It has been outstanding in recent days. Sophia giving us the details and the perspective from Lee Tunnel. They have been in lockdown mode.
And one of the best bullpens in all of baseball statistically. They're going to enjoy the off day on Monday. Maybe one of those guys.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Barnes in inning number 6.
Hey, the Brewers are teaming up with Pick and Save to reward fans for shopping locally. Now through May 8th, you can earn a free Brewers ticket for every $50 spent with your Fresh Perks card at Pick and Save. Visit pickandsave.com/Brewers for details.
Saturday night at Miller Park. Tight game for the Brew Crew. Last couple of games the exception to the rule. Have had a number of close games this season. Ryan Holiday at the plate. JT Real Muto getting the night off. Holiday, 30-year-old, former 6th-round pick of the Tigers. Most of last year with the organization in Detroit, he was with AAA Toledo. Bounced around a little bit. Red Sox, Tigers, Rangers, Phillies. Two balls, one strike. Here's the other catcher. They have 3. Tomas Tellez is on deck. Here's the 3-1. That's hit in the air to center field, and that's hit well. Cain at the track. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jacob Barnes. A couple of strikeouts and a warning track fly ball. Eric Thames embracing the month of April. He will lead things off in a 1-run game at Miller Park. As Eric Thames gets set to lead things off for the Brew Crew. Let's give you the timeline with Eric Thames. Of course, he was such a hit to the Korean baseball organization. 3 years there. Prolific power numbers. 3-year contract he signed with the Brewers in late November of 2016. The historic start to this season led to a 31-homer year in 2017. Out of the top 10 in the big leagues. And Right now he is in the mix. Only Bryce Harper has more. That's pretty good company there. Charlie Blackmon, Mike Trout, Eric Thames, all with 7 bombs here so far in this first month of the season. So here we go. A couple of them in the homestand for Thames, both against Cincinnati. Thames will be facing Nick Whitgren, called up from AAA New Orleans yesterday.
Eric Thames has 59 career home runs. 20 of them have been in April.
Kind of liking the month.
Certainly not one of those slow starters, is he?
No. He sprints out of the blocks. We were asking David Stearns last night if there's some way to maybe just convince Eric that every month is April and every opponent Cincinnati. Oh, if there's only a way to make that work.
Yeah.
2-strike pitch to Thames.
And the interesting thing about it is, both of his spring trainings not all that great. I mean, you break spring training and say, man, he didn't really look all that good. But hey, the bell rings and he starts to swing the bat.
Well, last year, I think, as he talked about pretty candidly, he was just trying to get a read on the pitchers. After 3 years in Korea, he was learning on the run. And he proved to be a fast learner. 2-2 pitch. Goes the other way, and a foul ball. Thames, Sogard, and VR. RBI single for Thames in the 4th inning. Whitgren with a 2-2. Now there's a superhero. We got a couple of them there. Spider-Man, Batman going. There's your guy, Rock. Batman. You've been waiting all night. Thames with a fly ball out to left field. Dietrich will put this away for out number 1.
You get a discount coming to the ballpark like that?
I hope so.
Pay double.
That's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just bail that in.
That's awesome, though.
Kid's fired up. Now another one. Yep. Take a photo of me, too. He doesn't look so happy to be dressed up. Here's Eric Sogard. RBI ground out for Sogard in the 4th inning. Was ticketed to be a double play, but Starlin Castro bobbled it. They could get just one. Nick Whitgren on in relief of Jose Ureña. One pitch to Sogard. Brewers spotted Miami, an early 4-0 lead. Turned it into a 1-run game. 1-2. Four runs, just 4 hits for Milwaukee. 5-8-1 for Miami. Sogard hangs tough. Against the 26-year-old Nick Whitgren, 9th round pick out of Purdue, 2012.
And third year with the Marlins. He first appeared back in 2016 in Miami.
Again, the 2-2, and Sogard looks at a called third strike. We're out number 2.
You see him setting up inside, able to catch the inside corner, down and in 91. Not a big fastball, curveball. And he's got the changeup.
Two outs. Nobody on for Jonathan Villar. Villar a couple of ground balls tonight. One to second and one to short. Wickman quickly out in front. Brewers went down in order in the first inning. They've had base runners ever since. Two strikes and nothing to Jonathan Villar. Wickman had 38 appearances last year for the Marlins. 468 earned run average. The 1-2.
See Villar really grinding at the plate last couple of nights. He's had some pitches to hit, but timing a little bit off. See him choking up with 2 strikes.
A la Joey Votto. Talked about that a lot. Studied the work of the Reds first baseman. And get the ball in play. 2-2 pitch. And he gets it in play. Ranging over is Anderson. Nothing he can do about it. As Villar working away from the shift. That was Rojas actually over there, and the Brewers have a base runner with 2 out.
And not a lot. He didn't do that a lot last year. I mean, he really never really choked up with 2 strikes. And right now, it looks as though that with 2 strikes, he's just trying to put the bat on the baseball and take his chances. He's had a lot of hits like that with 2 strikes. It's worked for him. Pitch away, just trying to make contact, and with his speed, put it on the ground, and a pretty good chance he might beat something out, and he does.
Good at bat for Jonathan Villar, extending this 6th inning for Jet Bandy. Looking for his first hit tonight. Bandy a strikeout on a ground ball to short. Marlins have been vulnerable in this road trip. They've given up runs with 2 men out. Jesus Aguilar waits on deck with a very healthy batting average.
Well, been a good pinch hitter the last couple of years.
Oh, 2 now to Jet Bandy.
And again, my guess is if Aguilar doesn't get in that bat, you probably see Jacob Barnes go out again. Josh Hader getting loose in the Brewers bullpen.
We last saw him deal a 6-out save Tuesday night. Infield hit from Villar. He's the runner at first. 0-2 on the way.
And Jonathan Villar has been very patient on the bases. Trying to pick his spots to steal a base. This might not be a bad time to run.
He's 4 for 4. And he's running now. Pitch is taken. Here's the throw. And got him at second base. Good throw from Brian Holiday to cut down Jonathan Villar. And the inning is over. We will move on to the 7th inning at Miller Park. Marlins hanging on to a 1-run lead. 5-4 Miami. Live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. Download the app and take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball wherever you go. 5-4 Marlins as we move to the 7th inning, 3rd game of this series. Changes now for the Brewers. Hernan Perez enters the game. He's the new second baseman. He'll hit 9th in the batting order. And now on the mound is Josh Hader.
We last saw Hader on Tuesday against the Reds. Recorded save number 2 with 2 scoreless innings. That included 3 strikeouts. 154 the earned run average. Look at the strikeouts for Josh. 25 punch outs and just shy of 12 innings. Not bad work.
Yeah, that's better than 19 Ks per 9.
Yeah.
That will be okay. Tomas Tellez will pinch hit.
Sounds better to say just shy of 20.
Yeah.
For 9 innings.
Yeah. Nearly 20 Ks per 9.
There you go.
He keeps that up. He has a chance to be an all-star. Gets in there and slings it. Fastball, slider.
One of the big stories in Major League Baseball in the early going this year. Getting a lot of national attention.
1-1 pitch to Tellez. A slider is fouled away.
I guess the guy getting most of the attention, rightfully so, is Ohtani over in the American League.
The Hader saying, let me hit.
He's got a hit this year.
He does. There's the 1-2. Hit on the hands. Just ate him up. Baines to Hader for out number 1. Well, we saw Josh Hader sling a 6-out save on Tuesday night against Cincinnati, and he's doing a lot of this.
And doing a lot of strike throwing, and that's the key. I mean, working ahead in the count. He's starting to get more and more confidence in his slider. Don't see too many change-ups, but there's a lot of confidence working right now, along with that unorthodox delivery. You're not talking about a guy throwing 97 miles an hour. I mean, it's, low 90s, 93 to 95 every now and again, but it's the delivery and the way he attacks hitters is why he's so successful.
Facing Miguel Rojas.
There's that slider.
Well, Hader with 7 straight relief appearances with at least 3 strikeouts. That is very, very rare air. Another slider. Tom Hankey had a stretch like that with the Blue Jays back in '89. Tom Gordon with the Royals in 1991. It's kind of company that Hader's keeping right now. 0-2 to Miguel Rojas. And that's hit well into right field, but right there is Christian Yelich for out number 2. Hader continues to make an impression. Let's get more on the lefty as we check in with Sophia.
Well, his fellow relievers are just as impressed. And when I spoke to Jacob Barnes earlier this week, he said when we sit back in the bullpen and we watch Hader, he said he noted, he said the velocity isn't crazy, but he said you just see the swings that he gets off of hitters. And he said it's like the hitters just can't pick up the ball off of him. He described it as Hader having an invisible fastball. And so he says Hader doesn't even realize how nasty he is sometimes. But certainly his fellow bullpen relievers are very impressed with what he's done.
Yeah, it's probably good that he doesn't know.
Oh, he knows.
Right?
Oh, he knows. He might not, he might not let on, but he knows. You got to have that kind of confidence out there.
Facing Derek Dietrich with 2 outs and the base is empty. Boy, he sure handles it well. Say that.
Really good kid.
Dietrich opened up the scoring. That solo shot on Brent Suter. Those 2 Marlins put the ball in play. That alone a minor upset against Josh Hader. 1-2 to Dietrich. And Alfonso Marquez says it missed.
Well, there's nothing much to say about this. This is just he kicked this one. Let's go.
The 2-2. There you go. Slider takes care of business. A 1-2-3 inning for Josh Hader. Doing Josh Hader things. Getting himself a punch out. Stretch time at Miller Park. 5-4 Marlins.
And no matter where you are, you'll never miss a second of the action with MLB.TV Premium. Enjoy HD streams of all out-of-market games on over 400 different devices. Plus, get a free MLB.com At-Bat Premium subscription when you sign up.
37,000 plus at the ballpark tonight. Another tight game. Marlins up a run as Drew Steckenrider on the mound now for Miami.
We saw him in yesterday's ball game. He gave up a couple of runs in an inning of work. 186 earned run average.
faces Jed Bandy, who was at the plate when Jonathan Villar was caught stealing to win the 6th inning. First time Villar has been caught this year. Bandy, Perez, and Cain for Milwaukee. Brewers with just 5 hits so far tonight. Two-strike pitch. That is out number 1. Here's aired on Perez. Came in as part of a double switch. Into the 9 spot in the order. Couple of home runs coming on that road trip. Most recent one, St. Louis and New York. The 0-1.
And then off to a bit of a slow start after a really good spring. Worked on his balance throughout the offseason. He's just trying, not getting out in front, staying more on that backside. And there's a base hit.
There you go, right back up the middle. 1 out, 1 on for Milwaukee in the 7th.
Yeah, did a good job staying back there. Good balance down and through. That's how you keep the bat in the hitting zone a long time. That's what we're talking about. Pitch up in the strike zone. You can see how well balanced he is. That's just a nice swing. Not a whole lot of movement with the legs and barrel the bat to the baseball. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
If only, right? If only. Here's Lorenzo Cain. He's reached twice tonight, once on an error, singled to left in the 5th inning. To the top of the order, which has been very, very good for the Brewers with Cain and Yelich. Working against the 27-year-old Drew Steckenrider at the bottom of the 7th inning. Last year was Steckenrider's debut season in the big leagues. 37 appearances, racked up a lot of strikeouts. 8th round pick out of Tennessee, 2012. 1-1 pitch to Cain. Brewers trying to mount a rally. Fell behind early by 4. Come into the game with a season best 4-game winning streak. Two-one. Ground ball to Anderson at 3rd. There's Castro for 1, and that's a double play. They go around the horn to end the 7th inning. 5-4-3. Counsell wants to take a look to make sure. Yep, that will end the inning. Brewers will not challenge. That means we are through 7 here at Miller Park. Marlins still lead by a run, 5-4 Miami. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lights. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Lewis Brinson, a 3-run homer tonight. 5-4. Marlins lead the Milwaukee Brewers. We move to the 8th inning. For the first time ever, the NFL Draft is live on Fox. Join Troy Aikman and Joel Klatt in Dallas for all the big selections. April 26th and 27th, live on Fox and NFL Network.
Who's your first pick?
Is it Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen?
Quarterback, right?
Yeah, quarterback. Matt Albers on the mound for the Brewers. I'll say Rosen.
Okay.
Just because. Who you got? You don't care?
I'll take the other guy.
Rock and I will have in-depth analysis of the draft as well
That's
after Troy's done.
Yep. I watch college football. I'm just messing around.
I do too, now and then.
Every week, you know. Kind of limited though in your scope. I mean, you just watch the same game every week.
I'm limited in a lot of ways, but yeah. It does become a little out of sight, out of mind. Thinking, all right, who's these Badger guys? Fumagalli, he'll get drafted.
Right.
Be a few of them. Starlin Castro leading off here for the Marlins.
I guess you're limited in your scope is a bad term to use.
No,
it's
I think
not
it's
exactly
very
what
accurate.
I meant.
No, it's very accurate.
That's not what I meant. I said you don't have the luxury of watching all the games like I get to watch.
That's right. You can channel surf.
Yeah. Turn off a bad game. Although you haven't had many of those.
That's some fun ones.
Yeah, that USC quarterback, I think I'll take him.
He's pretty good. Sam Darnold. Yeah, when Josh Rosen's former coach saying I'd take Darnold. That's Mora.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, okay. 2-2 the count to Castro. Well, we know it gets a lot of attention here in Wisconsin, the NFL draft. See what the Packers are going to do.
So Aaron Rodgers at the Bucs game last night.
Yes. Sounds like maybe around a lot more in the coming years. It's a good night. He's very much involved in either supporting or more than that now with the Bucs as Castro pops it up, feigns, and out of room. But Aaron's been very supportive of Wisconsin basketball, and he's but it goes deeper than that. He's had a lot of interest in just the landscape of sports in the state. Really, somebody who is invested, not just in the literal sense, but emotionally a fan of all sports. It's kind of fun to see.
Yeah, Wisconsin's been good to him. Of course, he's been pretty good to Wisconsin too.
Yeah, he's been okay. He was a late first-round draft pick. Castro will spin one through into right field, a base hit. That's how Matt Albers gets greeted here in the top half of the 8th inning. That's the 3rd hit of the night for Castro.
He's got a base hit to center, left, now right. Fought that one off. Albers got in on his hands. He's always done well against Milwaukee. Always seems to be on base.
There is Brian Anderson. He's had a good night. He's doubled at an RBI single in the 5th inning. It's looming large right now. Provided the Miami ball club with its 5th run of the night. Young players they're going to be relying on here. Anderson is 24 years old. Here's the 0-1 with Castro running, and I think Anderson got hit.
Yeah, not even
did.
close. Wow. Now lost the grip on that one, did Albers, and he was either going to hit Anderson or go behind him. Yep, got him just below the calf.
So shaky start here for Albers in inning number 8. Faces the dangerous Justin Bour. He has singled in 3 trips tonight. He has shown some power in this ballpark. The last couple of years, he's homered 3 times. Driven in 13. Here's the 0-1.
Albers with that 2-seam fastball, a lot of movement on it, slider to go with it. Needs one of those ground balls right here. Get on top of that 2-seamer.
A ball, a strike. Castro at second. Brian Anderson, the runner, at first. And this is hit in the air. Shallow left field. Ryan Braun takes charge, and there's the first out of the inning.
We'll take one of them too. Now your ground ball. Hey, tonight's Tavern of the Game winner. Interlude 2 Bar and Grill in Kenosha, if they call the Brewers, by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. They get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
It's a good bounce back for you on the Tavern of the Game location. That was, you felt bad about that last night.
I did. I drove home and just wasn't feeling right. Saying that Salem, Wisconsin was up near La Crosse, but that's West Salem.
But it was good to get a Damian Miller reference in there.
Back-to-back Kenosha references, though. Kenosha County for Salem, and now tonight's Tavern. Thanks for reminding me.
Just here to help. That's what we do here.
See, I had forgotten all about it.
Sure you had. 0-1 to Maben. You just can't let one error become 2, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't turn a bogey into a double.
A ball, a strike to Maben, singled and scored in the 2nd inning. Hit a fly to right and then struck out. First 2 reached against Albers, a single and a hit batsman. So Marlins threatening to add an insurance run or 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to the Miami right fielder. There's the ground ball. Sogard. Perez. Baines, a double play. There it is. 6-4-3 as Matt Albers and the Brewers get out of trouble. Cain and Yelich will lead things off with the Brew Crew. Bottom of the 8th in a 1-run game.
8th inning. Dario Melendez, Jerry Augustine with you on the Fox Sports Wisconsin said, Jerry, this could be a big inning for the Brewers. A hardly order due up 2-3-4.
Yeah, led by Travis Shaw, who's 5 for 8 in the series, has scored 4 runs, has 3 RBI. He's been on base 10 times, so perfect guy to have up.
Yeah, that 2-3-4 guys, they accounting for 3 of the 4 runs the Brewers have scored thus far. Now coming up on Brewers Live, we'll catch up on Brent Suter's outing, plus another milestone for one Ryan Braun, and of course we'll hear from manager Craig Counsell. As always, let's send it back up to Matt and Rock for the remainder of the game.
I like the way you guys think with this lineup coming up here for the Brewers. Yelich, Braun, and Shaw. New pitcher now for Miami is Kyle Bearclaw is on. It's a guy, Rock, facing Christian Yelich.
Yeah, great name. Saw him a couple of days ago, actually yesterday. A scoreless inning, a couple of strikeouts for Bearclaw.
A couple of other changes. Miguel Rojas moves from short to first base, and a familiar face to Brewers fans. Yadiel Rivera is the new shortstop. Numbers on Bearclaw. 1-0 the count to Christian Yelich. Christian, a strikeout, a grounder to short, and a fly ball to right. Warning track fly in the 5th inning. Former Marlin trying to get something started against them here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Impressive numbers, and this is 10th game of the season. It includes an on-base percentage of .455. 2-1 pitch.
Hey, get a man on, maybe somebody get a hold of one. Bearclaw basically a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider. He throws a lot of sliders.
Dealt with a shoulder issue about mid-season last year. 3 balls, 1 strike to Yelich.
Always making them work.
Full count to the leadoff hitter in the 8th inning. Here's the payoff. Grounder to Castro. That'll be out number 1. And now Ryan Braun. Let's check out his night at the plate, presented by Wendy's. A grounder to third, a double to left center, and a sacrifice fly in the 5th inning. That double represents career extra base hit number 700.
And he's starting to rack up the RBIs too, now at 14. 14 RBIs, and Ryan has 15 hits.
5 of them are big flies. Jose Ureña went the first 5. Nick Whitgren worked the 6. Drew Steckenrider the 7th. And now Bearclaw gets the 8th. The 1 pitch to Braun. Hold the string, 0-2. Four runs, 6 hits for the Brewers. They've stranded 3. 5-9-1 for the Marlins. They've stranded 4. 2-strike pitch. There's a fly ball out to right field. Cameron Maben will put this away for the 2nd out.
Yeah, Bearclaw, a guy that can rush it up there in the mid-90s. His fastball tonight about 93. Slider, strikeout guy. see if Bearclaw can get one down and in on Shaw here. He likes that pitch down.
His home run was a pitch a little more up and outer half. He went opposite field in the second inning. But yeah, down and in, he will make you pay. Here's the 1-0 to Shaw. Travis as well with some very good plate discipline. He's walked 10 times. Been an on-base machine in this series so far. The 2-0.
And Mr. Consistency, on base percentage 380. Hitting around 300.
Big year for the Brewers last year.
Let's see if he gets the green light. 3-0. Why not?
Here it comes. Nothing to hit at. 4-pitch walk. Second walk that Shaw has drawn tonight. Now here comes Mr. April, Eric Thames. RBI single for Thames back in the 4th inning. The fan club keeps growing. 7 homers, 13 RBIs for Thames.
Almost got a sense that Bearclaw was trying to pitch around Shaw. Can't imagine why he would do that with Thames coming up, but he really didn't have any interest in throwing strikes.
Oh, 0-1 the count. Breaking ball in there for strike 2 call. Thames has had just one at bat against Bearclaw. Shaw the runner at first. Here's the 0-2. Bearclaw came over 3 seasons ago in exchange for Steve Cishek. Over from the Cardinals. 1-2 pitch on the way. That bounced up there, and Shaw will move up a base.
Yeah, good job by Shaw with a secondary lead. As soon as that ball hit the ground, he was off and running. Now he's in scoring position. And with the shift, Holliday had to pick up the baseball and run toward third base because nobody was over there. Good secondary lead and good jump by Shaw.
The tying run now in scoring position. A 2-2 count to Thames. Here's the 2-2. Holliday has to block that. This inning started innocently enough for Kyle Bearclaw. Got a ground ball from Yelich, a fly ball from Braun. Shaw walk, advancing on a wild pitch. Now Bearclaw has run the count full to Eric Thames. Mattingly has watched his team lose decisively on Thursday night and last night. Most of their scoring early. Big blow, a 3-run homer from Brinson in the second.
Yeah. I want to make sure what they want to do. You have first base open.
Here's the 3-2. And the Brewers have runners at first and second. Bouncing them up there. Opportunity now for Eric Sogard.
Yeah, for a guy that's due. Sogard, a guy that you would think is going to put the ball in play. Single probably ties it.
Here we go. Sogard in there at short tonight with Arcia unavailable.
Miami outfield pretty shallow.
Claw having trouble with his command right now. As the inning gets more and more interesting. Walks to Shaw and Thames.
Average speed on the bases.
The 1-0. Popped it up. Shallow left field. Rivera gives way to Dietrich and it falls through. One runs in. Throw to the plate. And out at home is Eric Thames. They tie the game, and Holiday applies the tag and gets Thames. Craig Counsell, though, may want to take a look.
Now, does he get him? Yes, he does.
Yes, he did.
That's a heck of a play by Holiday, fully stretched out. They get Thames on the leg. But they tied it up. Boy, how do you miss that ball out and left?
Wow, it'll be an E7 and then 6-2 to get Thames as Holiday just able to clip him. But the Brewers with a run here in the inning have tied the game. We move to the ninth, 5-5. Inning, they get it on a misplay by the Miami Marlins. Let's look back at it. Eric Sogard at the plate.
Yeah, can't imagine what's going on with Dietrich out here. I mean, that's his ball all the way. He never really felt comfortable under that. Pretty good throw by Rivera, who we know has a terrific throwing arm, and a good tag by Holiday to get the out, but the Brewers tie it up. Let's check out Thames. He's running. Kind of gives up on the play right here. Had he been running all the way, probably would have scored.
I think the Brewers do tie it. New game as we move to the 9th inning as Lewis Brinson will lead things off for the Marlins. A 3-run homer from Brinson back in the 2nd inning. Jeremy Jeffress now on the mound for the Brew Crew. The Brewers have come back after trailing 4-0 early in this ball game. Jeffress pops one in there at 95.
Yeah, Jeremy pitched on Thursday against the Marlins. Retired the only 2 batters that he faced as Jesus Aguilar takes over at first base. He's going to lead off the 9th.
Got a good storyline unfolding here. Let's see if it plays out that way. Jeffress 2 strikes and nothing. Since the home run, Brinson has struck out twice. Jeffress, the 4th man out of the Milwaukee bullpen tonight. Barnes, Hader, and Albers got the Marlins off the board, and Brinson goes down swinging for out number 1.
Such a money pitch for Jeremy Jeffress, and getting more and more confident with it every single day. The split change up. You see it dives as it gets to home plate, and Brinson a strikeout victim. 3rd time he struck out tonight.
One away for the Marlins, and now the catcher Brian Holiday will face Jeffress. Go back to that 8th inning. Matt Albers was working himself into some trouble. The first 2 Marlins reached. He then got a fly ball from Justin Bohr in an inning-ending double play from Cameron Maben. Brewers bullpen continues in shutdown mode. We'll see if Jeffress can keep it that way. A bouncer to Sogard. 2 up, 2 down. Now let's check out what's on tap, presented by Miller Lite. Series finale tomorrow. Junior Guerra, he has pitched really well. His first 2 outings, has a win to show for it. Caleb Smith will go for the Marlins. Brewers Live tomorrow gets started at 12:30 here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yeah, another big earned run average for a Marlins starter, and you're right, that split-fingered fastball for Junior Guerra, very good again this year.
He had the slider as well in his last outing.
Yeah, velocity's up a little bit.
Here is J.B. Shuck pinch hitting with 2 outs and the base is empty. Jeffress getting a strikeout of Brinson and a bouncer from Holiday. The 1-0 curveball. Couple of hits for Shuck in the series. He's in the lineup last night for the Marlins. David Stearns talked about it last night. It's been mentioned a lot. There's just a certain level of comfort that Jeremy Jeffress has with the Brewers.
And vice versa.
Yes.
The way he throws. Yeah. Brewers love having him here.
Here's the 1-2. Ground ball to Perez. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Jeffress. Oh, got a fun little storyline going on. A couple of walk-offs for the Brew Crew. Aguilar will lead off the bottom of the 9th. Is there another walk-off in their future? Let's find out. of the 9th at Miller Park. Marlins and Brewers are tied at 5. All of this after the Marlins were spotted the early 4-run lead. The Brewers chipping away and tied it in the 8th, and now Junichi Tazawa on the mound for Miami.
Yeah, the Brewers got to him in a big way on Thursday night. 2/3 of an inning for Tazawa, 6 runs. Brewers only need 1 tonight.
Rally caps are on. Brewers with a couple of walk-offs, a Braun homer and Arcia single to win a couple of games here at Miller Park. Jesus Aguilar, he of the 400 batting average, will lead things off. Followed by Jet Bandy and Hernan Perez. Tazawa drops one in there for strike 1.
Not a hard throw. He's got a splitter. Had a difficult time with a splitter on Thursday night.
Aguilar hit some big home runs for the Brew Crew a year ago. He's down in the count 0-2 here.
There's that split.
Zawa was knocked around like he never has been at this level on Thursday night. Two-strike pitch coming to Jesus Aguilar. Another good spring training for Aguilar. Did his way onto the team last year. Together another good spring this year. Tazawa loading up with a 1-2 pitch.
In the back of your mind, you're thinking splitter. I mean, you can't really sit there and look for it, but you're thinking about it. That's why Tazawa can get that fastball in on your hands at only 92 miles an hour.
And a reliever for the Boston Red Sox. Second year with the Marlins. The 1-2. A wave and a foul tip. Just does stay alive.
Yep, the curveball way off the corner, and I'm not sure how, but he did get a piece of it.
Right off the end of the bat. A ball, 2 strikes. Think of some of the big home runs for Aguilar. First career home run last year in St. Louis. That helped win a game. Grand slam at Yankee Stadium. That won a game.
Man, that Marlins outfield, it couldn't be any deeper than it is right now. A lot of room in front of that outfield.
Zauer again with a 1-2. He's had command issues. Walk prone this season. Aguilar battling him right now. 2-2 pitch.
He's trying to put the bat on the baseball, give himself a chance to get on base.
Grinding out this at bat. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. The 2-2. Now it's full.
Breaking balls away, fastballs in for Tazawa.
A lot of range with the velocity.
Curveballs and fastballs.
10th pitch of the at-bat coming up. 3-2 to Aguilar. And Tazawa will need an 11th pitch. This is a heck of an at-bat for Jesus Aguilar.
Yeah, he was down in the count 0-2.
One more time, a payoff pitch coming up. Pitch number 11 of the at-bat. The 3-2. That's pretty good stuff right here.
Yeah, best one to hit right there. Fastball outer half.
Zawa had some very good years with Boston, including their most recent World Series championship season of 2013. That year and the year after, he appeared in 71 games. The long at-bat continues. Tazawa against Jesus Aguilar.
Pitch 13 coming up.
Yes, sir. Making him work for it. Mentioned he's off the bench tonight, but when he starts, which he has done 5 times, Aguilar has had 3 3-hit games. Making some good hard contact. Tazawa ready with pitch number 13 to Jesus Aguilar. And there's a fly ball deep right center field, and Jesus Aguilar has walked it off.
Wow. Unbelievable.
For a team that's had a lot of dramatic moments, that could be the at-bat of the year. 13 pitches, and then Aguilar sends one out of here to win it.
Man, what do you say to that? Unbelievable. Jesus Aguilar just continues to impress. And how about the Brewers bullpen once again?
Kept them off the board. Brewers win it 6-5. Let's send it down to Sophia Minards.
Thanks, Matt. Jesus, what a battle for you at the plate. Your 13th pitch. You were down 0-2. You work a full count. Take me through what you were looking for in that at-bat.
I just tried to go to the middle. I just say to my mind, it's between us, nobody else, and finally I can hit the ball really good.
How tired are you after that at bat? 13 pitches, and to end it like that on a walk-off home run.
I was thinking like he's not gonna beat me with a fastball, so he can do whatever he wants. I'm just gonna be ready, and that happened.
This team was down 4-0. This is your 7th come-from-behind win. Where does the resiliency come from with this group?
we battled into the end, and, you know, we got a lot of great guys over there, and we showed it tonight, and we're going to keep going now.
What does this moment mean to you, Jesus, to come up with that big home run?
I'm really happy.
All right, that's Jesus Aguilar with a walk-off home run, and Dario, that is their 7th come-from-behind win. What a moment.
Well, Jesus Aguilar made himself happy and made 37,000 plus here at Miller Park happy tonight, Rod. What an ending.
Yeah, what an at-bat. 13 pitches, and, you know, he just kept battling and ended up, he's so strong, he doesn't even have to overswing. Tazawa gives him a fastball. Far and away the best pitch he had to hit in that entire at-bat, and he did not waste it. Wow. The Brewers were out with their 3rd walk-off win of the year already.
And the work of the bullpen makes it all possible. What an ending, what a night. At Miller Park, the winning streak is 5. Let's send it down to Dario, ready to roll with Brewers Live postgame.
Thanks so much, Matt. Our Badgeville Mutual Insurance play of the game. Jesus Aguilar, a solo home run, his first of